Welcome to the Sean Davis Show. Trying out some new equipment today, folks. See how it sounds, see how it looks. Trying to get everything a little better. Trying our best to, anyway. Had a very busy week with work, our schedule, everything else. Don't really have nothing in paranormal news this week. So I thought we'd go over the headlines. Check that out. All the crazy stuff happening in the world. Just crazy. Every day it's a new report that World War III is coming. I seen the other day that uh, watched a video last night on YouTube about the Gerald Ford, and I got a kid in the Navy, kid in the Air Force. Very proud of those boys. All of my boys, proud of all of them. But I understand that Gerald Ford was, like unstoppable force. It's the big dog on the seas. It's the most powerful weapon in the world. Seen a report a while back. I watched a video on it. And they was showing that they had some kind of top secret weapon. They didn't really exactly show exactly how it was used, but they were taking it and they were uh, basically wipe out an entire country. Some kind of laser system, uh, shot straight up in the air, fired satellites, and just devastated this whole area. And with technology today, I couldn't tell if it was realistic or if it was CGI. Something was real or something they're just propaganda they're just putting out there because China and Russia's touting these supersonic missiles, which they claim can take out our entire fleet. I don't know if it can or not. Hey, Connor, what's up? How are you, buddy? That's my sailor there. He's not on the show today. He stuck and can't get online, so he's in the chat room. But anyway, the Gerald R. Ford is the biggest, baddest boat in the ocean, hands down. And we don't want to talk about a lot of top secret things on here. This is just stuff they put out. That it's out on video. That's the way we want to leave it. Um, I think a lot of it's a deterrent to try to scare China or North Korea or Russia from, starting anything. But anyway, we got a new tablet, trying to fix their sound for Spotify, trying to get it working better. Hopefully got this mic linked up to the tablet to help the sound on Spotify. The sound on YouTube is terrific, as far as, low budget sound equipment goes. We just can't be able to get it to the on Spotify and Google and iTunes, the sound just isn't what it ought to be. Connor says the sound is great. Yeah, says he's not up to much, but I hope you're enjoying your weekend, Connor. But we still haven't heard from Caleb yet. Waiting to hear back from him. Hopefully we'll hear from him in a day or two. I need to write him sometime today if I can. But we'll go over some of these headlines. There's nothing in paranormal right now that we got. Um, Not really anything I could find. No new Bigfoot sightings or evidence or anything like that. But they're saying a storm's going to hit California the first time in like 120 years. A tropical storm, which I found interesting because you would think that they'd get storms all the time. The heat and warm water and all that kind of stuff. You'd think they'd have lot more storms. Of course, the Drudge Report's trying to put out, this story. I don't know where it came from. It says, "A stress taking toll on Don's health." I want to check this out just for a second. Donald Trump looks stressed and unkept as critics speculate about his health. Of course, they're going to put this out there because we all know that President Biden's health is like, he's not well. He's not well, bless his heart. And if we're all fortunate enough to live that age, we probably will not be well either. That's just life. That's just the fact of the matter. You're in your prime, your 20s and 30s. After about 45, it's just downhill. And that's just life, just the way it goes. Connor says UFC had some good fights, and I didn't get to watch the fights. I've been busy and I've just not had time trying to get this trucking thing off the ground and other things going on, fixing to switch hours of my jobs, and just couldn't watch anything. Don't have time. Uh, Back to the Drudge Report. Legal scholars increasingly raise constitutional argument to bar from presidency. Ex-president to release taped interview with Tucker Carlson skipping Fox debate. Trump did a lot of good things for the country when he was president. He really did. I've seen a lot more money in my paycheck, even though Biden says you're getting more money now. You were not. You were not. But now the Trump tax cuts were set to expire, and what happened was Biden let them expire. If you read the book Copeland about the Koch brothers, you'll find that the Trump tax plan wasn't necessarily Trump's tax plan. His tax plan was actually a whole lot better for the American people than what they got. But if you don't know, the Koch brothers, well, there's just one. Charles Koch now is the only one alive. David's dead, passed away. David Koch, his lobbying crew is the most powerful one in Washington, as far as I know. These guys are anarchists. They're not just libertarians, they are libertarian anarchists, which means they would love to see this country go broke and they would love to see it fall apart. And the quickest way to destroying the country is by overspending and taxing the crap out of everybody until it just falls apart. Because if you have all that stuff going on, you don't have any of the rules and regulations governing corporations. It keeps corporations in check. They want free reign, free market, everything. Now, I'm not saying all that's bad. I'm not saying it's all good. It just is what it is. I'm a libertarian to a certain degree. I don't want the government messing in my business. I don't want to mess in the government's business. I think the government's there to protect the rights of the individual, not just the majority. I don't think the needs of the whole outweigh the needs of the few. I grew up watching Star Trek, but I don't believe that philosophy. It just doesn't seem, it is just unconstitutional. The Constitution is written to protect individual liberties and rights of individual citizens. That's what it should be. But get back to Trump here. Trump made a speech at Davos, and if you haven't seen that speech, you need to go back and watch it. He basically told them to kiss his butt, the World Economic Forum, to kiss his butt that, it was going to be America first while he was president. And he pretty much fulfilled that promise to the American people. Whether he was selected like I think he was, or whether he was elected like a lot of other people think he was, I don't think you get in there unless you're selected. Now, that's just hands down the way it is. I think they went so far to the left and so far on these agendas with Obama that they had to bring back some normalcy and some they had to bring back some American values in order to keep the Civil War from breaking out. They do not want a civil war. They tell you they want a civil war. They really do not want a civil war. Because what happens when they have a civil war? People quit paying taxes. Nobody's going to be paying taxes. And that right now is what it's all about. We are tax cattle. We are inflationed and taxed and worked plumb to death. Most everybody out there I know is working 2 jobs. 2 to 3 jobs. Everybody I know working 2 to 3 jobs. This is the way it is. You got your regular job, and you stack another job on top of that, or you're doing some of these side hustles like delivering groceries. You're uh, what's that thing called? You're a spark driver for Walmart. You're Uber Eats or DoorDash, or you're doing something on the side, building a trunking company like me. Hauling campers on the weekends, get off work, don't sleep in your truck 2 hours at a time, run back and forth wherever, trying to deliver campers or boats or whatever, just trying to make ends meet. Um, Taking a few minutes out of every week, trying to do you know, trying to talk about crazy stuff, just to keep your mind off all the troubles in the world, which is way more fun than talking about the news. If anybody has been to Waverly Hills in Louisville, reach out to me. I'd like to have you on the podcast, interview you, talk about that. Be great. But anyway, go back to that speech at Davos that President Trump had. He told him to basically, kiss his butt. He said, "Kiss my butt. We're not doing it. We're not going down that road. It's going to be America first." Klaus Schwab, after his speech, said, "Yeah." Connor says Trump was a G. Yes, he was. He was a G. Andrew Tate speak, I guess, but he was a top G for sure. He's a good guy. I read all his books, bought all his books that I had, read them all. I like Trump way before he's president. Do I think he was elected? No, I think he was selected, but that's just my personal opinion. But anyway, Klaus Schwab said this guy's got to go. What happened? Boom, he's out. What they do? Get a New World Order puppet in there, or World Economic Forum puppet, same thing, right in there with Biden. And it is what it is. Whether Trump was elected or selected, he did seem to love America. These people that's in there now, I don't think they love America. I don't think they love the American people. I think they love themselves and they're all about self interest. And when you've got to be a public servant, you cannot be, you know, entirely self serving. You know, you got to be accountable. And these people ain't accountable for nothing. But that's why they're doing all these things. That's why you have all the people coming after Trump with all these indictments. That's why you got all these everything they can to try to destroy his second run at president, or third attempt at presidency. Biden campaign expects candidates to out MAGA each other. Yeah, really. I mean, this guy couldn't pull no one. He couldn't pull anyone to the stands. They were offering free bus rides. Couldn't get nobody there. Yet he, got 81 million votes. Baloney. It's all a setup. It's all a setup. DeSantis gets lashing for listless vessels remark. I have no idea what that's even about. I don't have time to watch the news. Paper. USA needs Trump-free Republican Party to make America sane again. That's funny. That's funny. Meadows told special counsel he could not recall were Mar-a-Lago docs ever declassified. Well, who knows? Rudy Giuliani faces the music. Don't know what that's about. Manchin claims parties villainize each other amid speculation about no labels bid. Romney's political journey reaches crossroads. Romney's, I don't care about Romney either. Again, NFL preseason game suspended after player immobilized. The South knows hot. Sticky summer, but this, it's hell. When Maui fires hit Lahaina, chance dictated survival or death. Yeah, that's bad. What's going on in Maui? Did you see the president's comments on it? Had very little comments on it. He just basically told reporters, no, I'm not speaking on it. So, it is what it is. Some have speculated it's a weapon from China setting them on fire. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. Who knows? Queen drops classic song from greatest hits comp over woke concerns. Musk's latest antics have some asking, is he out of touch? Elon asked how the medicine tasters, oh, excuse me. Elon asked how the medicine tastes as he blocks users who complain. Oh man. China's 40-year boom is over. What comes next? China's facing a lot of things with their decreasing population. Japan's facing a lot of the same thing. Europe is facing a lot of things, a lot of the same thing. But they same things that's happening here in America: low T levels, low birth rates. No new babies being born. Who's going to bring about? Who's going to work? You got to have workers. If you can't have workers, if you don't have workers, the system collapses. You got to have all those worker bees. So they fixed that with all those immigrants coming in from the Middle East. And that's what that was, that influx, that overrun of people from Libya and Turkey and all of them that piled into Europe. Those people hadn't been fed all the drugs and the chemicals and everything else that's destroyed their testosterone. It's turned men effeminate and whatever. Uh, the beautiful ones, if you know uh, what was it, Project 23 or Experiment 23 was, the beautiful ones where they put all those mice in there and after so gave them all the food they wanted and they didn't have to work, didn't have to do nothing. They just had a free reign, everything that they needed provided for them. Then they got up to a certain population level, then they started collapsing upon itself until they all died. There was a generation that come up towards the end called the beautiful ones, that were men that had no interest in women. They had no interest in anything. They were, um, they call them the beautiful ones. They just kind of sit and clean themselves all the time and just it's crazy stuff. But that's kind of the generation we're living in right now. But whatever's going on with China is very, very, it could be very, very critical. Saying World War III is coming, these people even have an army. It's supposed to be one of the biggest armies in the world, but if they're aging and there's no, they don't have no population coming on, what's going to happen? Or maybe they need to because they got 8 guys to 1 girl. Or is that Japan? One of the two countries has 8 guys to 1 girl, and they literally have dating shows or dating games for people to compete to try to get a date with 1 girl. It's crazy, crazy. On the edge as fallout from real estate crisis spreads, Beijing harboring mysterious new secret on this tropical island. That's interesting. Let's see what that is. Mystery. China has begun building what appears to be an airstrip on a disputed island in the South China Sea, according to satellite images taken this month and shared with the Daily Beast. So this is from the Daily Beast, I guess. I can't really tell what website this is from. One satellite image taken by Planet Labs PBC on August 10th and analyzed by the Daily Beast shows new construction on Triton Island, the westernmost island of the Parcel Islands near Vietnam. China has occupied the Parcel Islands since the 1970s, but Taiwan and Vietnam also lay claim to the archipelago, whatever they are. Compared with a Planet Labs PBC satellite image of the same island in March, Beijing has been busy building up the island, which clocks in about 1 mile by several thousand feet across, according to maps. We know they've been fortifying these islands out in there for years. It's no big news. It's not new. They've probably got airstrips and everything else on all these islands because they're going to, what are they going to do? They're going to put in a whole big bunch of, spend years building a whole big bunch of aircraft carriers and boats and everything else. Or are they going to go out there and, use all these little islands around them to basically make little aircraft carriers. That's the only way that they can, United States controls the South China Sea, and about the only way that they can combat that as for their interest is to build up these little islands. It's just, they're doing the same thing we would do if the situation was reversed. In talks with prosecutors, Hunter Biden lawyers vowed to put president on stand. Now that's interesting. Prosecutor worked with Brother Bo. COVID restrictions are coming back. I heard this the other day from at work. I reckon you're going back on quarantine. Going back on quarantine. They'd ease the restrictions there for a while. A lot of people even worked with it. I know I did. A lot of people did. Worked with it the last round or two. But whatever the deal is, restrictions are coming back. Miami real estate broker sentenced 3 years in jail for using relief funds on luxury items. And that's something else. On luxury times. Yeah. FBI looks for Proud Boy after the January 6th convict missed his sentencing. How to get rich and famous from stock market crash. Old Hollywood stage summer vacation photos. LA kosher restaurants targeted, burglarized. Oh, going after the Jews. This small Ozarks town, home to Walmart headquarters, new capital of cool. Must be Benton. I'm assuming it's Benton, Arkansas. Looking it up here. Yep, Bentonville. Bentonville, Arkansas. Mercedes unveils new generation of its brawny AMG sports car. Well, let's wonder what this is. Mercedes-Benz unveiled the second generation of its flagship sports car August 18th in Carmel, California, with the 2024 AMG GT Coupe. Comes in two variants: the 577 horsepower AMG at 63 and 469 horsepower AMG GT 655. The brawnier GT63 will hit 60 miles an hour in 3.1 seconds and a top speed of 196 miles per hour, while the less powerful 55 hits those numbers in 3.8 seconds with a 183 top speed. Pretty doggone cool. I wonder if it's electric. AI created art isn't copyrightable, judge says in ruling that could give studios pause. There goes your rights to all your everything you produce. There goes your rights. Red flag waving for tech stocks as AI bounce fades. Everybody's worried about the stock market crash. I'm not going to get into anything like that right now. Russia spacecraft crashes into the moon. Scientists rushed to hospital after demanding no cover-up. How Putin's war is unleashing crisis back home. Kamikaze drone hits air base, damaging supersonic bomber. Dutch and Danes giving something other F-16s, giving Kiev F-16s. So the Dutch and the Danes are giving them F-16s to Ukraine. Woman spiked boyfriend's drink with roach spray, cops say. Oh my gosh, we got to read this one. Flip it around here. The smoking gun. Woman put bug spray in Bo's drinks. Man hospitalized after alleged felony poisoning with Raid. Is that even possible? Can you kill someone with Raid? I mean, I watched Tony Soprano uh, spray Raid in that guy's face on on that show, but whoever thought of that? After an evening out drinking, a Florida woman allegedly served up a nightcap spiked with Raid bug killer to her boyfriend, the father of one of her children, police allege. According to an arrest affidavit, Veronica Klein, 29, contacted the victim early this morning to say she was coming home from drinking out at the bar and wanted him to serve her an alcoholic beverage so they could drink together. Klein and the 24-year-old victim are parents to a 1-year-old girl. Klein has at least one older child with a different man. After Klein arrived at the residence in Dion Springs, the victim told cops he consumed about 2 drinks when he began feeling sick. After feeling ill, the man recalled that Klein admitted adding Raid roach spray to his last 2 beverages. The victim told police that he threw up for 30 minutes before he was able to dial 911 for assistance. The man became extremely ill and could not speak without vomiting. When questioned by deputies, the whatever county sheriff's office, he was transported by EMS to local hospital for treatment of Raid poisoning. The victim gave police an audio recording of Klein reportedly admitting to spiking his drinks with Raid. Investigators also located a 17.5-ounce can of Raid and ant and roach spray, which promises to kill on contact with no lingering odor and boasts of an outdoor fresh scent. Police probe determined Veronica did, in fact, intentionally introduce a chemical compound into the victim's drinks with intent to kill and or injure him. Charged with poisoning, Klein is being held in the county jail on felony counts. Seen above, Klein has several prior criminal convictions, 2 of which involved the improper exhibition of a weapon. In both instances, the weapon was a knife. Anyway, crazy is as crazy does. You're a crazy chick, you're going to deal with crazy consequences. Ugh. Where are we at? Locally acquired case of malaria found in Maryland for the first time in 40 years. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing? All these new um, mosquitoes was recently released, and now malaria is popping up everywhere. Florida, New York, all these places. Not New York, but Maryland, I guess it was. Sorry, I misspoke. Maryland, the first time in 40 years. Okay, think about that. Someone makes a bunch of genetically modified mosquitoes, and all of a sudden there's a disease that hasn't been around here for more than 40 years. Said same individual says, if we do a really good job, we can reduce the population by 11%. Now, that is a conspiracy. But he didn't say that. He didn't say it. He didn't say that on that TED Talk. White dress. Antonoff marries Qualley in an intimate New Jersey wedding. I don't know who these people are. Confidential affidavits detail reasoning for police raid of Kansas newspaper. Brazil finds last survivors of Amazon tribe. Now what? The beheading of tech CEO and tiny clue that may glitch case. Who knows? California forces crews to reduce driverless vehicle fleet in San Francisco by 50%. Well, wonder what's going on there. We're going to have any crashes? Floating architecture not the future, already here, or is it because no one has jobs? Connor says people need to work. Yeah, you're right. That's probably what it is. People need to work. Burnout at Burning Man. Hedonistic Desert Festival offers heavily reduced tickets. Probably because nobody can afford to go. Who the heck can afford to go when you get 6 or 7 items and it's $100 at Walmart? I mean, people are literally right now working two jobs to cover everything. Working two jobs to cover everything because you got to work one job to have the gas to go back and forth to work and have food to go back and forth to work. So then you got to work a second job on top of that just to pay your bills, like your electric and water and house and everything else. What the heck's people going to do? What the heck's people going to do? It's crazy. It's crazy what it is. Influx of influencers turns long-time attendees sour. Well, I guess so. Looking for new updates on the aliens in Peru. New updates on aliens in Peru. Oh, they're still pushing the story. 2 days ago, flying aliens in Peru, actually miners with jetpacks, police say. And then on the Vice, flying aliens harassing village in Peru are actually illegal miners with jetpacks. Peru's 7-foot tall alien attackers are illegal gold mining gang, officials claim. Well, they're a gold mining gang, and they have technology good enough so that bullets bounce off of them, and they're kidnapping little girls and cutting their throats, and they've killed 70 people and peeled the faces off of them down to their skull. These illegal miners need to be arrested and hung or whatever. That's all I can say. Yeah, it's pretty heavy. Recap on that story. All this stuff was going on. They got reached out for help. Uh, village being terrorized every night since June 11th or July 11th, being just tormented every night. They had to put their kids and their wives in the center of town. The men patrolled the town looking for these dudes every night because they were being terrorized by them uh, every single night since July 11th. I don't know if it's still going on or not, but that's what they say. They pulled a lot of videos off from that guy that the Rocket Man or whatever his name is. They actually pulled up one of his pictures off a video with it time stamped and said, "Oh, this is who it is. This is this guy in the rocket pack or whatever." Blah blah blah. And it's his exact picture. The guy that built that suit, like the Iron Man, the real live Iron Man. That's what I'm looking for. Um, they actually pulled his picture and they put it on a cell phone with a little girl holding it, saying, "Oh, she took this picture." And she didn't take that picture. That picture was actual guy, and the Leak Project went over that in one of his videos. You can go look for it, the Leak Project, on YouTube. He shows the video and he shows where it came from and everything. He debunks it completely. Their story is completely false. What is strange though is that the Peruvian Navy says this is illegal miners. Then they entered into a joint operations with the United States Air Force Special Ops and the United States Space Force in some kind of dual training thing on the 23rd. Okay, this stuff started happening on July 11th. July 23rd, they started joint uh, games or joint whatever, whatever they call those things when they all get together. Uh, Connor, if you're listening, what's it that they call? When a bunch of groups to get together and two countries get together and they, do like drills or whatever that's called. But anyway, I can't think of what it's called right now. But anyway, it's some kind of joint mission or whatever. I can't, and it's like they pulled the name straight out of the Transformers or something. The Sentinel or Operation Sentinel. That's what it was. Joint Forces Operation Sentinel. I believe that's what it is. So, I mean, what the heck? Who knows what's really going on down there? Who knows who will ever really know what's going on down there? But anyway, that's it for the news. Don't have nothing new on that. Yeah. Hope the sounds better. Well, thank everyone for listening. Thank everyone for watching. Please like and share the video. Please like and listen to us on Spotify, Apple iTunes, Breaker, Amazon Music, wherever this is played. Breaker, Pocket Cast, Radio Cast, Google Podcast. Let's say that Spotify, and Alliance. Connor says Alliance. Yeah, it could be Alliance. Yeah, but he's asking. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm talking about. There's some kind of joint mission. Operation Sentinel is what they're calling it. I don't know if they call it military war games, drills, whatever you call it. But they entered into something on July 23rd, right after all this started taking place on July 11th. Is it aliens? Who knows? Who knows what it is? It's whatever it is. It's definitely got these villagers tore all to pieces that they're running around all night long shooting. I can't blame them. Can't blame them. Anyway, that's it for the day, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll try to have something more interesting to talk about other than politics next time, and a bunch of updates on old stories. If you have a strange story you like to tell, ghost story, Bigfoot encounter, dogman encounter, anything like that, you want to talk politics with us, we'll talk politics with you. Anything you want to talk about, jump on the chat room, talk to us, call us up. We're going to email us, reach out to us on Facebook or Instagram. Connor said, great podcast. Keep it up. I don't know if it's a great podcast or not, but we just keep trying, keep hacking away at it. Anyway, we're trying to get the sound better. Anyway, reach out to us on YouTube, on here. You can reach out to us on Facebook at the Sean Davis Show. You can reach out to us on Instagram on the Sean Davis Show. You can email us at t_SeanDavis@hotmail.com with your stories. That way we can, read your stories online. We are also listener supported on Spotify. So, if you want to help us out, make the sound better, help us pour more money into this to try to get our sound up there to par, we appreciate it. We are listener supported. So, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Best thing you can do, if you don't want to share the program, if you don't want to, be member support, help us out with member support, which is fine. It's fine. I'm not asking for money. Like and share the show. Spotify plays, helps us out tremendously. Thank you all so much. God bless. Y'all have a wonderful weekend.